Okay, aloha everybody. Welcome to Heʻeia Fishpond. I'm Hiʻilei Kawelo. I'm the Executive Director of Paepae Heʻeia. We're the nonprofit organization that has been caring for this fish pond and doing the restoration work here formally since 2001. I've been asked to share with you a little bit about kilo and how we use kilo to inform the work that we do here. So for us, kilo, the definition of kilo, right? Kilo means to observe, but maybe not so much in the same way that we look at kilo from a scientific perspective. Kilo for us means informed observation. So it very much relies on your time and tenure at a particular place and your relationship with that particular place. But also, you know, so for us here, for myself here, I started volunteering way back in 1998. So, you know, my informed observations from this place are 22 years now. But wherever I go, I also bring with me the observations that I've made from this place, as well as from the larger Kaneohe Bay area. So that when I go to other places, maybe outside of my community, maybe elsewhere here on Oahu, maybe outer island, I bring that information with me to basically maybe start a new relationship with a new place, or be able to assess the resources of a place through the lens that I bring with me. So, kilo, we're here at, this is Makaha Nui. It's one of 7 makaha that we have at the Heʻeia Fish Pond. Makaha Nui, to our knowledge, has always been known to be a storm gate. So the function of this particular makaha is that it does and has always released large amounts of flooding pressures that build up in the pond, and we've seen it. We've seen it, Tropical Storm Darby. We've seen it. There was another flood that happened 3 years ago. We've seen the pond fill up with so much fresh water that without release mechanisms, the fresh water will just surpass the height of the wall. If gates aren't pulled, terrestrial vegetation will come down, clog gates. That pressure builds up behind the gate. The gate will break. Worse yet, the wall will break around it. And so for us, using that kilo, that practice of kilo, that informed observation, we altered the construction of this gate to better suit our response during flood events. So originally this gate was 26 feet wide, just one big, huge, contiguous gate that if we were to come out during a flood, we wouldn't be able to do anything. We couldn't pull the gate, it'd be too much water pressure built up. So after our most recent flooding, I believe it was 2018, we separated Makaha Nui and divided it into two more manageable gates, so that, you know, it might take 4 of us to come out and pull it, but at least we're able to pull it in anticipation of a flood event. So that's just one kind of real-time way that we've used kilo to inform and alter the management and the practice here at the fish pond. Of course, makaha are important not just as flood control mechanisms and water quality mechanisms. They're also important for fish. Yeah, so this is the mechanism by which we recruit fish into the pond. It's also the way by which we harvest fish. So a lot of the observations that we make here have to do with fish. And what we notice is there's a succession, a tidal succession. Depending on what the tide's doing, right now it's pumping. Just so happens today is August 17th. And it's going to be a king tide later on this afternoon at 3 o'clock. So obviously the tide is pumping, it's rising rapidly. The only fish really that can handle this water flow are moi. So for us, as the tide rises, and the pond's water height evens out and slows down, you start to see other fish coming to the gate. So namely, pualu, veke, barracuda, papio will come in. So there is a succession and order to all of this, which for us we thrive in coming to know. Yeah, we don't have it all figured out. By no means do we have it all figured out, but there's a lot to learn from just watching tidal movements and watching how fish respond to those tidal changes. We have 7 gates. Every gate is completely different from one another. Certain fish, like this gate, more than that gate. Other gates, fish don't really go there. The only fish that go there are small juveniles. So understanding the dynamics of the fish pond and how this fish pond functions given just the numerous environmental changes that we experience, especially with climate change, it has kind of allowed us to evolve this practice of being a mahi'a, of being a traditional Hawaiian fish cultivar. Yeah, so we include our staff in all of the kilo that we do here. We have monthly kaulana mahina meetings so everybody's in charge of observing something different around us. Some people gravitate more towards the sky, clouds, wind. Some people, like me, I pay attention to fish more. Kanaloa pays attention to fish more. Others are real papahuli or Nua people. So they're like watching tidal movements and sand shifts. Other people are bird people, plant people. And so just kind of harnessing everybody's areas of expertise. Everybody observes and is assigned to different things. We come together once a month. We have an Excel spreadsheet. Everybody talks about what they've seen. And we have about 3.5, 4 years of data collected in this particular way that we're doing it now. And it's morphed. For the last 15 years, it wasn't always like this, but we've improved on our way of capturing that data to the point where we have plans within the next year to create a kaulana mahina, a tide and moon calendar specific to Heʻeia fish pond for us to use and share with others.